So if you're ready, I would love to know how you felt about this workshop and what all did you find exciting and what did you learn? Which are some of the things that really stood out? Just hold on while I stop share so that the camera captures you properly. All right. So let's start. We can start with Team Anand and Arnav, you can go first.
Uh, okay, so um, I liked the examples that you gave, like when we were drawing, just like different examples, and then also when we were doing mind maps,
Right,
you gave like kind of outlines, and then at the end, like the examples of other people's work.
right,
Um, and then what was the other thing?
right. And when you were drawing the mind maps and I was talking, were you being able to follow what I was saying and you could still work on your mind map without getting disturbed? Sorry, lost you over there.
Yeah, I was able to focus on what you were saying.
Yes, and that's the beauty of something called doodling also. When you're doodling, you're able to listen to that. That is not the same when you're writing notes and if somebody else is talking. If you're writing notes and somebody else is talking, you'll get disturbed. But if you're doing a mind map, you will be attentive to whatever somebody else is saying also 100%. Great. Thanks a lot, Arnav. Nishika, what was your experience? How was your experience?
I liked this workshop. I think I learned how to make the mind maps, and I think they're a good way of like organizing your thoughts and planning things. And I liked how you used drawings to show that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very easy to understand with the drawings.
Yes, thank you so much. And I think all of you should start applying this to your study subjects, but not only limit to that. You should start planning your day. You could start planning your goals, everything. You can simply apply it to everything. If you're planning a recipe, also you can do it as a mind map. Okay, and that would really work well. Great, thanks a lot. Okay, Team Vidya, we'll go to next to you. Who's going first?
I like the mind maps.
Okay.
And I like the part when you like drew
You
the
like the drawings as well? Yeah. Okay. Great. Did you like coloring the mind map? Did you color your mind map?
yes.
Awesome. Great. Great. Okay, Saranya.
I like the mind mapping of the entire course, but like I really liked when we were drawing the mind maps and like learning how to organize it into different parts. And
Yes.
the example that you gave about like the California trip, like like
Yeah.
it's nice to know that like if you set your mind to something, it can actually happen.
Yes, and that's very true. I have just given one example. There are many such examples that I have witnessed, and it all boils down to what you plan to do and make up your mind on. And it's not only keeping it in your mind. The moment you put it down on paper and create it as a mind map, it stays as a record and a reminder to you that hey, these are your dreams. Chase your dreams. And the more you look at it and you work towards it, one step at a time, you're going closer and closer to achieving those, right? So that's the magic of things you can do with this. Fantastic. Thanks a lot for your feedback. Okay, Team Shelly.
I really liked the mind mapping um workshop, and I liked how we drew and you would explain through the drawings, and you would give really good examples that would help like understand like how mind mapping can really help in like a real life, like um
Yes,
to achieve something.
right.
So I really liked it.
Great. And did you finally see the pink elephant in your movie?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, great. Okay. And my friend, yes, Navam, go ahead.
I liked how you would explain the drawings and how you would like tell us what to do. And I like the mind maps and how they could help us in real life.
Right. So this is what I would suggest for everyone. Uh, I think you've had enough of beja fry today. Your brains are really fried up right now because you've overworked. Your central processing unit, as you might say, is really hot right now. So, just relax and don't think about this anymore. Tomorrow you might want to kind of decide, hey, what are my plans in life and what I want to kind of do, and think about it, and uh, do some mind maps. I'm going to share on the mail some more examples of the mind maps, including this slide of the mind map laws. So take a printout, keep it in front of you, use that. You need to submit 3 mind maps as your assignment, and I will then send out your certificate. So you can choose any mind map topic that you want to work on, and that's perfectly fine. But you have to follow the mind map rules when you're doing the assignments. Okay, so I'm going to share that with you all. And I look forward to looking at your mind maps. I'm also going to share my calendar with you all, and you can book a slot for the coming week where we can do a one-to-one session. So any doubts you might have in the coming 1-2 days, that come to your mind, we can solve it, and we can do some more mind maps together in the one-to-one session. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So thanks a lot, everyone. I mean, it was a fun session for me also, and this is the first US workshop that I'm doing, and it was really amazing to have all of you participate. So thanks a lot for that. And if I may have your parents over here so I can speak to them. And that's it. The school bell is off and you can run off.
Thank
Go
you.
home and bye. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye, Samyukta.
Bye.
Bye bye, Nishita. Bye. Hi, Vidya.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, Shaili. Hi, Anand. It's like
Yeah.
8:15 in the morning over here, and I'm dead tired already.
Yeah, I was wondering, how you can do this so early in the morning. You
No,
probably were
the,
awake
the,
at
the,
4:30 or 4
the,
o'clock.
the energy, the workshop energy was fine, but it kind of gets exhausting, and I could only imagine how exhausting for the children because they're not used to this, right? So, too much
Yeah,
of thinking is something that they would not want to do. They've not put their brains to so much of work in such a short time. I mean, most of the time
right.
we will try and put our brains to use during our exams when we kind of want to put our memory to good use. But to do this just like that, it was like taking it from, let's say, 30% to 100% and keeping it sustained for an hour, 2 hours today. 2 hours, so it was quite a thing for them as well.
And
But
yeah, and specifically when it's a Sunday evening, right? That's
it's a
that's their
Sunday evening. It's on an online medium. It's not even
yeah.
in person. So it's amazing that they kind of put up with me also. And I was like, I was thinking for a moment, Navam is probably going to fall off his chair if it goes off any further. But
But
good
those
hats
the
off to him
suggestion you
also.
had for him to yeah, but the suggestion you had him for get up, walk around,
Yes.
stretch. I think
Yeah, but that is
I
and that
asked
is so
Arnav
true
and
for all
Nishita
of
to do the
us.
same thing.
And
Yeah,
that is so true for all of us also. I mean, for all of us, we forget our posture when we are sitting, and then we wonder why my back is aching and all. I think even that I've started practicing that, so whenever we get the time, we just kind of walk around, come back, and you're refreshed after that. You can go and work
right.
some more on that. Good. So I wanted to hear your day 2 reviews also. So if you could just share your thoughts. And Anand, you went first yesterday, so we'll come to you last. Shaili, do you want
I
to kind
agree
of
with that.
start? Yeah, we'll start with Shaili this time.
Actually, this workshop is really good. I think it is good for parents too.
Yes.
We also learned so much from this workshop. Mainly,
Yeah.
like we are always after them, do that, do that, do that, finish this, finish this. We have only this much time. But now we know, like, it's not like
Yeah.
robotic thing, right? We
Yes.
should also give them time to
Yes.
imagine, explore themselves. So it was really very, it will be very helpful. I don't know right now, but later on it will be very useful.
Yes. And remember the magical statement, you're not good at it yet, you will become better and better. So
Better and
remember that.
better. Yes,
That's
yes.
fantastic. Okay. So thanks a lot, Shaili. And Vidya, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I actually enjoyed today's session much more. I think one was because there was a lot of color involved.
Mhm.
Yesterday it was more like black and
Black and
white,
white.
but
Yes.
today it was more color. So I felt like I was more engaged.
Yeah.
And as you were talking, I was realizing, so, there's this book called The Secret, which, we all, I think a
Yes.
lot of us have read, and you
Yes.
watch the movie, and, we all kind of know that, yes, if you want something real bad,
Yes.
and if you pursue your goals, you can get it. There's never a word like impossible.
Right.
But I think for, like, especially when I think about myself, I think for me, what happens is I get lost in my thoughts, and then it's hard to put that into reality. Like,
Yes.
there are so many multiple things going on in my brain that even though I know I want one thing, there are other things that clutter my thought process, and I feel like I can never get to that goal.
Right.
But having seen the mind maps, having seen the color and the branches and everything, I kind of feel like even, like people like us can also visualize and come up
Yes.
with a goal. It could be a short term goal, it could be just as simple as planning my day to day schedule.
Yes.
With me and
Yes.
Shelly, we always go crazy planning our schedules. But,
Right.
something as simple as that, I think it will kind of give us an idea of how to organize our day. And I think it is something you can use for every little thing. There are so
Absolutely.
many things you can use mind maps for that. I
Absolutely.
really enjoyed today's session. I truly enjoyed.
Right. And you're right on using in your professional life. Okay. I do cover that in a separate workshop as well for adults. But like you said, putting it down and planning your day is very simple. And you need not use colors and all for that. You simply need to use your pen and a blank paper and say, okay, this is my day. What am I going to do? And what are my tasks and you do it as a mind map. You plan your month, you plan your month, you plan your year. Okay. I'm going to share some mind maps of goals also with you, goal setting, so that you can use, and the children can also use that. You can use it, you can put it to better use that way, so you could do that as well. The other thing I wanted to share is when the child comes, when the children come back from school, ask them what did they learn in school today. Okay. And the children will say, okay, we learned about so and so topic and we learned about so and so subject and all. Ask them after they have refreshed, after they've had their lunch and all, give them that paper, give them their mind map book, buy a good drawing book, give them, make it a mind map book, and ask them to draw what they remember of what the teacher taught them about that topic, because it's fresh in their mind. And let them draw a rough mind map. It need not have color in it right now, it need not have pictures in it, just a word mind map. What Once they do that, ask them to show it to you and explain that mind map to you. You get my point? Now, what has happened is the teacher taught once, that was revision number one. Second is you asked them to do the draw the mind map, revision number two. Third revision is they are teaching you now, so that's revision number three. In three revisions, they have understood the topic and it's gone into their long-term memory also. So next time around, they just look at the mind map, they will remember, they can talk about it just by looking at it. That's the beauty of the mind map. With just 10-15 words over there, some images, they can go extempore for 15-20 minutes or even more. Okay. So you try that out and you should make that as a practice, because during exam time, it will work wonders, because the child does not then focus on rote learning. He is now going in his real memory and going by his understanding of the subject. That's the big difference, right? Thanks a lot, Vidya. Anand, over to you.
So, couple of things, Amar. I think, I liked how you started with the basics, right? Drawing, lines, squiggly lines, right? Then you have that stick figure, I like that approach because, that reinforces in your brain, those basic figures upon which you can build. I completely agree with Vidya. Take colors, right? Colors have a very different, impact on us, right? Having something shown in blue versus
Yes,
in black and white, that blue you'll remember that more,
yes,
right, than some black and white, right? You'll remember that in today's world of emojis, right, telling someone that you are laughing versus showing them a big
yes,
smiley face has more importance in today's world, right?
right,
People connect with that. So I like
right,
that approach that you took of using images to build upon those ideas, right? I think that's the fundamental basic thing that needs to be cleared with people,
yes,
right? um, it's almost like I've been an engineer for all my life, then I've been a project manager all my life, right? I'm very so used to linear lists, right? Top down, give me a bulleted
yes,
point and I'll remember it. But now when I'm looking at the way you drew the mind map, right, I think I'll probably remember more of
yes,
what work needs to be done if I draw it out as a
right,
mind map rather than a
right,
list.
right. And that's
That
what you could do use in projects also, as in project management, or you're mapping out something as a
yeah.
project. That's it. I did not complete one thing, and I wanted to connect the dots over there when I was giving your example as an engineer, and I asked Arnav whether he thinks engineers are creative or logical. The misconception around the world is that engineers are logical people and analytical people, whereas they are the most creative people. Because if you just look around and if you see anything, everything is created by an engineer, and it cannot be possible if you don't have imagination. I mean, just think about it. I mean, whatever you can think about, whether it's a mobile or whether it's sending a man to the moon, if you don't have that imagination, how are you going to solve it? And that's
I,
high.
I think that is so true because unless you are able to show an app as a prototype on a paper, right?
Yes,
You're not going to get someone to understand because by the time you build that app, it's
yes,
probably someone else has done it and you're too late, right? So
yes,
showing it on paper, an image, showing
yeah,
this is where the buttons are going to be, and that's I think like that is key to today's way of understanding how to
yes,
depict those organic figures to make it
yes,
much more impressionable, right?
yeah.
Yeah, no, I
So,
loved it. I loved this one. Like Vidya said, today's session was a lot more engaging, right?
yeah. So I
Having
think
the kids do it.
it builds on because one has to also keep in mind the age group of the children which are participating, and some of them will pick up fast, some of them will not pick up, and the interest levels also will vary. But it builds on, and therefore you see the children also then start saying that some of them like the visual sessions more, and some of them like the mind mapping sessions the more, right? So some of them were saying, yeah, day one was better. Some of them were saying day two was better. But most of them connected that both of them together is what the workshop was all about. And that's the key. So I'm sure you will start seeing the effects of it in the coming days. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share these mind maps by mail with you tonight itself, and you could take the printout of the mind map examples, show it to them so that they can have it in front of them. And the other thing is, in the same mail, you will have a calendar link for the one-to-one session. You can simply look at my calendar and block the time, and we'll have it around the same time. We can have it probably at 7 o'clock my time morning, and maybe 8:30 your time. I don't know. So we'll have to figure that out. Just see whatever works best for you, and we can do that. And I will be announcing the next workshop for US maybe in about 10 days or so, the date and all. There are some people who have already said yes, but they couldn't join in this workshop. So it would be great if you could just spread the word in your family, friends over there, and talk about your experience with that. I'll also be putting it up on Facebook and LinkedIn. Facebook, not so much, but I'm not too regular on Facebook, but LinkedIn definitely. And if you could just comment and share your testimonials over there also, it would be good. Yeah. So it's been a tiring
Definitely.
day for you also. So, good night and thank you so much for participating in this workshop. And I look forward to the one-to-one with all of you. Right. Thanks a lot.
And when
Thanks,
are those
Amar.
assignments due, Amar? Those assignments by the
Yes.
kids? When are they due?
So I usually give about a week
Okay.
for completion. So from the time that you get the assignments to a week, so you'll get a mail today. So let's say by Saturday, if you can just send it to me, that would
And
be
only
great.
three, right? Three?
Yeah, any three mind maps of their choice. I mean, I leave the mind map choice to them. I'm not going to put any restrictions on that. They can pick up a subject topic or they can choose whatever they want to do, something that they like. See, that's why we did the storyboards also yesterday. We did the storyboards to get them to think in that direction. And I was amazed to see those storyboards. Arnav's was expected. So Arnav's was expected that, okay, he's going to do this, he's going to give a sats and he's going to be this. Nishika's drawing of her opening up a bakery and all. See, that's a story. That's the story that's already there in her mind and she's bringing it to life in that paper. Similarly, all of your drawings also, somebody is talking about through a poem what they are going through in school life, right? So all of that. So it's all important that we kind of encourage this and let them start doing these visual thinking sessions a lot. Whether they just simply do drawings or whether they do mind maps, doesn't matter. Just let them have fun.
Sure.
Right.
And
Okay. So it's been a great journey. Thanks a lot. And we'll continue with this journey further. So I'm looking forward to the mind maps also. Thank you
thank you.
so much. Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Amar.
Bye.
Thanks, Amar.